This episode of Explain the Cloud, we're talking with an agent from South Carolina who has transformed their business in less than 3 years by joining eXp Realty. It's a great interview. Make sure you listen to it, check it out, subscribe if you like. Hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Explaining the Cloud. I'm super excited today. I got an eXp agent, Tami Allen, in South Carolina. She's built the company now for a few years. We've got in almost around the same time. And so I want you guys just to hear from her why she made a jump to this company. So what's going on, Tami?
Hey, Anthony. Thank you so much for having me on today. This is great. I look forward to chatting with you about one of my favorite subjects.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I tell you, it's good stuff we're dealing with over here. And I love,
it is.
Talking to agents like you on the podcast and just giving everybody an opportunity to hear from other people. Because, there's a lot of people hear from me about the company and they're hearing from you. And so it's a little diverse conversation, which is always great.
That's right. It certainly is.
Well, Tami, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm a single mom. I'm rocking out my real estate business. Nice. I've lived in South Carolina for many, many years. I'm a Carolina girl completely. I was born in North Carolina, but I've lived in South Carolina now for almost 35 years. And I absolutely love the area that I live in. I became a realtor 3.5 years ago, and it was life-changing, wonderful thing. Before that, I had been a holistic health coach and an entrepreneur doing some other things as well. Had a business, a couple of businesses along the way throughout the years. I'm very creative. I'm a people person. On the DISC personality profile, I'm about 100% I. So I'm all about.
I'm a high I, high D. So yes. I know the feeling on that one.
That's right. So I love people. I love helping people. Thought that holistic health coaching would be the absolute best way to help people, and absolutely loved it when I was doing that and I had my health practice. But I did find it very challenging because I wanted to be able to fix everyone, cure everyone, help everyone. And right. I didn't have the ability to do that, nor was that the purpose. But I did help a lot of people get on track, lose some weight, make their lives better. And now I'm just doing that in a different way with real estate. I'm helping make their lives better by helping them buy and sell homes. And that's an amazing privilege.
No, that's a great comparison, because I can tell you I'm the same way. When you have a belief of such, and I know, like I said, Lauren is involved in holistic. She's all totally into it. Even myself. I mean, I've transitioned the last 3-4 years where I'm using different toothpaste and totally different deodorant and things like that. And it's hard, to get people to kind of it's people to change that mindset that they've always had about things they eat and what they put into their body. I mean, we see it, we have conversations all the time with the family and friends, and sometimes they look at us like we're crazy. Like, there's a specific toothpaste we use now. I'll tell you, I can't use Colgate anymore. I think it's to shout out to David's toothpaste, but that's what we deal with. You have a certain passion, a certain excitement about something. I can tell you, I'm the same thing, Tami. In the last 4 months, I've probably lost 55 pounds.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
The way I eat. Thank you. No, it's been a journey. And it's been a very, even a spiritual journey, which makes it interesting too. And a lot of it is just eating cleaner, putting different things into your body. And it truly has changed. But it is, that's one thing you said, when you're trying to tell someone or convince someone to take that journey with you, they have to be all in. It's very it's interesting conversation to get that, and that's what we're kind of dealing with, here at eXp. Exactly right. I mean, I think it's a good comparison. Wouldn't you think?
It very much is, because what it comes down to is that the person has to have the confidence in themselves and the value for their own bodies, their own jobs, their own careers, their own lives, whatever. They have to value themselves enough to realize that they do deserve the best, and they do deserve to be healthy and strong and successful. And yes, it's a very strong comparison between the two because, when you find out that there are foods and things out there that can harm your body, and then you figure out a way to make your body healthier and stronger so that you're more successful in not only health, but in your life in general, that's an amazing thing. And same thing with your career. Yeah. If there's something that hasn't been serving you well or hasn't been giving you all that you can possibly get out of something, that rewards you greatly. And you move on to find that one thing that does that, or that one company, or the one, whatever, it can be life-changing in an incredible way.
That's two things that happened to me, in a transformation of sorts. I could tell you eXp, has done so many great things for my life. It's opened up so many doors and opportunities. And what I realized, Tami, was that, wow, if I don't change who I am and what I'm doing to my body and my, who I am as a person, I may not live another 10 years to see
That's exactly
the
right.
rewards of this. And I'll tell you, it was a very eye-opening experience, and it's great. I can't attribute it to eXp or whatever, but I tell you that mindset change.
Yes.
Where I sat back and go, I think I briefly told you, and people have heard in the podcast, I've relocated to different cities and helping grow my team, the Homes and City team, and eXp. And my next hop is going to be to a Caribbean island or a beach or Belize. And one of my other podcasts I do, Mega Agent X, I interviewed agents in Belize. And I was like,
Fantastic.
I want to be able to do that for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And I tell you, I don't know if you listen to a gentleman, Dave Asprey,
Yes.
if you pay attention to Dave and all with biohacking, and he's saying he's going to live to 180. Like, man, let's do it.
Oh my gosh. I know, right? Isn't that incredible? I mean, we really are. There is that whole thing that you see a lot. The new 50's the new 20, or,
Absolutely.
60's the new 40, or whatever.
Right,
It's amazing.
right.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is.
So we do want to have that longevity to enjoy and be able to endure and do things that we love for a long time.
No doubt. It's a great conversation. So tell us a little bit about your business. You've been in real estate for a little while, and you sound very excited and happy with what you're going. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So yes, 3.5 years ago, I entered the real estate business with the encouragement of two of my dearest friends, Teresa Holbrooks and Jenny 80. And they are remarkable women. Both have been realtors for several years. Jenny's been a realtor maybe for over 30 years. And so she is so experienced, so knowledgeable. She has sold real estate, I think, in Denver, Maryland, Florida, and now North Carolina and South Carolina.
Awesome.
Sorry, now South Carolina, but also North Carolina, I think. But anyway, she has sold real estate all over the place. So I have these incredible mentors and teachers, and they said, you really need to be a realtor. And for so long, I had let some silly thing, fear, hold me back from becoming a realtor. So I finally said, you know what, you're right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try. What have I got to lose? I'm going to try this. So, because I had been a lot of things up until that point: entrepreneur, business owner, marketing director, worked for printing companies. I just all sorts of stuff. I had a degree in graphic design and broadcast journalism. So I just use it in many different ways. But I also wanted to help people so much. And they said, if you really want to help people, get into real estate. And I'm like, okay. So I did. I became a realtor and had my first transaction, literally had a contract 5 days after I got my license. And so grateful for that. That was the launch of my career. It was amazing. And I've had a very consistent career and growth since then over the past 3.5 years now.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, what's so you had your friends, they told you, what you think was the thing that they saw in you to ask you or tell you about getting into real estate?
Yeah, well, I knew that they enjoyed it so much, and I think it was coming from their place of joy and the rewards of being a realtor, because there's great rewards there, as like we
Absolutely.
help people find their first home or help people sell their home, and it's an incredible journey to go on with our clients. So they knew me well enough to know that I would love that. And they were right. This is what I should have been doing all my life. I should have never done anything else.
It's such a huge piece that I tell you, I talk to real estate agents a lot. And a lot of them have these difficulties in the business. Sometimes they don't want to make phone calls, or they feel like they're bugging their, sphere of influence, or their friends and family. And I can tell you, the one thing I tell people all the time is that you need to truly sit down and realize what your job is. And you nailed it, Tami. It's helping people. And if you look at it any differently, you're going to potentially struggle in this business. Like I had a team member in Las Vegas, and he said, Anthony, everybody's making phone calls, and these guys, the Las Vegas real estate market, the expireds are crazy. They're doing like 80, 100, 300 expireds a day in this market.
Holy moly.
No, it's interesting. And he came and I said, man, look, just step back and say, why are you making these calls?
Right.
Is it to make money? Which, yes, obviously it is. But the fact is, you got to come from contribution. We learned that a long time ago.
That's right.
If you believe in your mind that you're truly helping people, okay, and not making it all about you and the money, you should love what you're doing. Like they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day. And that's where I'm at right now too,
That's right.
And I can tell you, selling real estate a long time, you have a lot of low lows and high highs. And that's one of my great things I've seen with shifting over to eXp Realty. It's giving me more of an opportunity to help people in real estate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. And I think that's what I love so much about it. And sometimes I think it takes people a little while to understand what I'm saying to them when I'm talking to them about eXp Realty, because they can't conceive of the fact that we get paid. We get the opportunity to be paid 3 different ways right out of the gate.
Right.
And it comes, first of all, from helping people and selling real estate. That's our first, we've got the commission, right? And then you've got the opportunity to share this incredible company with others. So you have the opportunity for the revenue share. And in the process of all this and the work you're already doing, you've got the opportunity to earn and buy stock at a discount. And it's like be awarded stock and buy the stock at a discount. So you're like building a retirement as you're going. So right out of the gate, you've got these 3 incredible avenues of compensation, all because you're helping people and helping people buy and sell real estate. So, that's a huge thing.
It is huge.
When people get it, they get it.
Yeah. And then, but it takes them a minute to get it. I can tell you in comparison about what you were doing before with health coaching and holistic. I mean, so when I talk about my journey of being healthy, and I really don't call it weight loss because I've actually changed everything about me. One thing I've done recently is I started fasting. Okay. I started doing intermittent fasting where I fast between 18 and 20 hours a day, and people look at me like I'm crazy. Okay. But I'll tell you, it's just like trying to convince someone of that. Like, hey, if you don't eat for 18 hours or 20 hours a day, your body will change. You can you can go from a full blown, almost diabetic or pre-diabetes state and get out of it. Just with that alone, with doing water fasting. And, when I tell people that, they look at me like I am crazy. And I feel the same way with eXp when I get guys, look, there's an opportunity for retirement. There's an opportunity for, residual income for the rest of your life by helping others. There's an opportunity, for healthcare now, and back to if you pay attention, and you have, which is, I love this topic we're having, right? Conversation, what the medical world tells you about being healthy. Okay. Take this pill. And I watched one the other day, and it's funny. It said, it didn't start until the mid 70s or the early 80s, where doctors really started doing preventative medicine versus fixing an ailment.
Right.
Okay. And so the same thing with brokers right now, you have been told this is what a broker does, and this is the way it is. I just, to break that down a little more, I just brought on a gentleman in his 70s. To eXp Realty.
Oh wow!
And I know,
Fantastic.
amazing. He's obsessed. This guy is great. He was a big GM. I mean, an executive at GM here in the Shreveport, Louisiana city, and he has a lot of contacts. But the really cool part is, so he's getting me in front of a bunch of people, and all these people are been in the business for quite some time, and their next step is they're going to open up their own company as a broker. And it just blows my mind when you're in your, let's say, mid 50s, mid 60s. Or in 70, and you're looking to go and open up a whole new company and spend all this money and all this branding. And so when I got in the car, I was like, Harold, I said, man, why is that the case? And he goes, Anthony, this is how we grew up. We were told this. The next step for us is you be a broker.
That's true. That's exactly right.
And that's it's a very interesting conversation, I can tell you. And it's a mindset where that's all they know. And then all of a sudden you come in here with this crazy idea where, you could offer your agents retirement income. You could offer your agents stocks, and they're looking at us like we're the abominable snowman. They have no idea what the hell, like Santa Claus just skated in front of them. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And that we can take away the eXp can reduce so many of their expenses. They don't know how that can happen. How can eXp do this?
Right. And talked about those. I mean, I know the conversation I've had with brokers, and if you've had some, what were some of the things that you've seen that that eXp eliminates for them? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, so I've got a couple of scenarios. So I've seen some brokerages come in that have just been greatly relieved, and like they're rocking it out now because of it. Like they're coming over, they're bringing their whole brokerage, and these agents are thriving, and they're growing, and they're building stock, and they're building a revenue share, and their broker is prospering. I mean, like, everybody's being rewarded, everybody's being compensated and loving it and growing. So everybody wants to do better, because I always say, the better we all do, the better we all do. Right?
Absolutely.
Because, like,
right.
you know, however great you're doing in real estate or in whatever you're doing, building your team, that helps the company as a whole. I'm a shareholder. It's great for me too. So we all help each other.
Right.
And this is the first brokerage built around that idea that we really do all help each other. And we're really agent obsessed. Agent success obsessed. That's our hashtag that we're using so often now, right? And
Absolutely.
then I've talked to other brokerages. I've actually been talking to this one brokerage for quite a while that I talked to him when he first started his brokerage. He had just gone out on his own, and he's like, I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm like, look, okay, I know you're good right now, but talk to your team. Tell them you're going to make this, let's make a team decision, and let's make the move over to eXp Realty. Cut your expenses. Keep your brick and mortar. That's fine if you really love your brick and mortar. But cut the expenses. Give your agents so much more. Give them an incredible CRM that's going to manage all of their database and drip campaign their clients and potential clients and prospective buyers and all this. Give them all this stuff. Give them stock. Give them through eXp, all of this through eXp. And he's like, no, I'm good. I mean, I buy him KV Core every month. I'm like, how much are you paying for KV Core every month for every single agent? Like
huge.
$400 an agent.
Right.
I'm like, for $85 they get it, right? Through eXp.
And it's a limiting belief. I mean, you see it time and time. It's like anything else. I mean, we deal with so many things like this in life. But I mean, I just I met with an agent yesterday in Dallas and had a conversation with her, and she said, yeah, Anthony, this sounds amazing. And, I want to sit there and know exactly how much your team spends on marketing.
Right.
And so I was like, look, I can answer that question right now. Because one, I know my P&L, I know my budget. I said, I spend zero. And people, again, look at me like, I'm great. I mean, think about it. So you have your team, they have their own websites. And I like this model in that sense because, I've been building teams for quite some time. I've had Boomtown, I've had Conversion, I've had all these sites. And the fact is, every time an agent left my team, I was stuck with the agents, Uncle Billy and Aunt Susie in my database.
Oh, that's true.
My website.
That's true.
So it's segmented, and then back to, it eliminates the expense. I talk to agents all the time. Their operating expenses are 10, 20,000. And look, when I was at Keller Williams for years, that was my operating expense, my budget. Now I have no office. Everything's in the cloud. I am about to, I'm super excited about the team office space virtually. I'm about to launch that for the Homes and City team also. So yes, I do spend a little bit of money. But the fact is, you can't. But again, that mindset, that limiting belief that people have, and it's an amazing conversation we're having, because I hope people are listening to this and, don't stop it because, these guys are talking so much about eXp Realty if you're not in the company. But the fact is, here's some of these things. These are real life scenarios. And look, and people need to look in the mirror and go, at least let me look at this and see. Because when she asked me that about how much I spend with marketing, on marketing for buyers, buyers are not a huge part of my business. I was brought up in the business. I was MAPS coaching from almost day one when I got in. I was coaching by Michael Ann Biley, and she
listings to last, right?
Right. I mean, look, I prospected through
right, Anthony. Yeah, it's
the healthcare piece.
It's just like the CEOs and the presidents of Blockbuster. They're all sitting around right now, scratching their head, going, "What happened?"
Right.
What, Blockbuster was a behemoth in the DVD, movie industry. Never thought they would ever go away. Weren't we all card-carrying Blockbuster members, right? Like, we all had a card.
Saw a meme the other day. It said, our kids will never know how lit this place was on a Friday.
That's so
it was
true.
Amazing. I was like, I now use that when I do my classes. I do my wealth building Wednesdays with eXp Explain, and I tell people, and they crack up laughing because you don't know.
It's hilarious because the fact that Netflix went to Blockbuster executives and said, "Hey, we've got this great idea," and Blockbuster's like, "No, you know what? Our brick and mortar stores are great. We're going to stick with our plan. What we're doing is working." Well, it's working for now, but in this world that's changing so rapidly, and with the onset of the incredible technology that we have on a day-to-day basis, we have to be ever changing and adapting. And so the last thing in my mind that any
Hey guys, I hope y'all enjoying this episode of Explaining the Cloud. And you just heard Tami and I talk about, a blockbuster analogy. And I'll tell you guys, eXp Realty is it. If you're at your current brokerage and you're experiencing, some difficulties, the technology's not there, look, you're in a blockbuster franchise and you know what happened to Blockbuster. So give us a call, reach out to us at Explaining the Cloud to talk to you about the opportunity about bettering your business with our company. Let's get back to the interview with Tami.
Is go out and build brick and mortar buildings.
Right.
I mean, I just think that's one of the last things they should do, because in a downturn, it's going to be really, really hard. Whereas with a company like eXp, I truly believe we're going to be able to sustain downturns better because of it. Absolutely.
Well, we've been in such an upturn lately. I've been people, even since you've been in the real estate market, I mean, it's probably been a really good market in the last 3.5 years you've been into it.
Absolutely.
It comes in cycles. And look, I think I read a report the other day. We're 9 years into a great market.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. And look,
that's true.
There's going to be a correction. There's going to be I could tell you, like selling real estate in New Orleans, it has gotten crazy.
Yeah.
You have to pay for a property in New Orleans now.
Right.
Right. And so there's going to be some correction, some form of it. And I agree. That's going to be part of the problem. I mean, I just met with a broker of a big company here in northern Louisiana. He has multiple offices, and he said that he goes, man, like in the Shreveport area in the 90s when the GM plant closed. General Motors was huge here. Barksdale Air Force Base was huge here. When it closed, there was months that they were losing tens of thousands of dollars.
I'm sure.
And trying to keep the business afloat. And that is a part. I mean, I've done the same thing. I had an office in downtown New Orleans, shut that down. And agents, if you're listening right now, I know you think to yourself, you need to be in that office. And look, trust me, there's a certain need for an office space to go sit in sometimes. I get and understand that. But the fact is, if you truly look at how your business should be ran and what you should be doing, you do not need to be in that office environment.
That's exactly right. Anthony, let me give you a great example of something we did this morning. We call it on-location collaboration. And what we are starting to do, we just launched it this morning, and we're doing it every Tuesday in our local areas. We are meeting at really cool, awesome spaces, like places that people have. Like this morning was a coffee shop in Taylor's, South Carolina, called Junto Coffee. Such a cool location, old warehouse that is so modern and bright and filled with like gorgeous big old windows, cement floor, awesome furnishing, just a beautiful space.
Very nice.
And great coffee and plenty of space for us. So we're starting to meet there every Tuesday, and then we're going to start branching out into other locations around our area so that people can go close by and collaborate with other eXp agents. And so the thing is, what I'm saying is that we're working smarter and not harder. We're not having to buy and build a big office for all of us to go gather in and pay for that office. We're going to use spaces that are already out there. Plus, we can interact with the public that might already be there.
Right.
So we want to work smarter, not harder. That's the whole focus to me of my real estate business, and especially powered by eXp.
I've done it too. The same thing. We do Wealth Building Wednesdays where we invite agents in, people who are looking to get into the business, and other eXp agents. And we went to the chamber. I mean, look, we for $350 here. I mean, I don't know what it costs in other cities and other states, but for $350 in Shreveport, Louisiana, I have open-ended access to these meeting rooms, boardrooms, conference rooms. And I can tell you, if you looked at it, this is an old historic building. You walk in, it's 30-foot ceilings. $350, and I can do a meeting, whatever I want, and when it's available. And that's exactly
amazing.
Right. I mean, you could legitimately, if you need a space or someone to meet there, you can go there every single time. And that's exactly it. It is, I tell people who are interested in a company, we are a forward-thinking company.
Yes.
Okay. And you need to be, just like you said, the on-location collaboration. That's some forward-thinking stuff that, agents should be doing.
That's right.
If you're going to that office and sitting there every day and hanging out with the other agents and doing all that, it's what's there for. Like when I was with Keller Williams, I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. I was selling real estate for Keller Williams there, and people would laugh at me because back, I don't know if you remember, if you were in the business or prospecting base, but we used to buy these headphones that were called the Boom.
Oh yeah.
And so I had these big noise canceling headphones with a microphone coming out, and I had it plugged into my phone. I had noise canceling off, and I paced because I had this little 12 by 12 office in the market center. I would pace the hallways
Oh yeah.
And continue to do my prospecting calls. And I see everybody drinking their coffee, chit-chatting by the water cooler, getting a Coke, sitting by the front desk, and then everybody in that office wondered, how the hell did the Zet come into a market in a year's time be one of the top agents?
There you go. Yeah, because you were working. You were
Right.
working the business, not sipping your coffee.
Right.
But you can drink coffee and work.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the difference in it. And I think a lot of people are going to see as this company evolves, like you mentioned, Netflix and Blockbuster. I mean, it's amazing where I think Blockbuster turned down Netflix for $60 million.
Exactly.
And have you ever looked up the current value of Netflix?
Oh my gosh, I haven't looked it up, but I do know that wasn't Blockbuster like a $5 billion business
at
that time, and they lost it all over 60 million that they didn't even want to consider Netflix because it didn't fit what they thought was the future. And the thing is, go ahead. What is
the other day
now?
600 billion.
Holy cow.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so that's right too, being open-minded. So and the thing is, yes, we are a cloud-based business. You look at Amazon, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb. We're being compared to those. And guys, I want and Tammy, maybe you could reiterate on this. Guys, this is not about a forward-facing consumer site that's in the cloud that customers and clients can go to. I'll tell people all the time when I'm sitting down talking about eXp Realty, there's two things that stand out to me: the support and the training.
Absolutely.
And funny thing is, that's what people say about the company. And look, if you're an eXp, look, shoot me a message on Instagram or shoot me a message on Facebook, and let's get some maybe some more insight into this, because people say you guys do not have the support and you do not have the training. Well, I can tell you, Tammy, tell us how great those two things are with this company.
They're amazing. And the people that are saying that are not in the business. They're not in eXp, nor have they even opened their hearts and minds to hear about eXp. Because if you have heard about eXp, if you're a part of this company, you know that we have over 40 live hours of training in our world every week. We have tons of recorded training. We have so much training sometimes, like I can't even think of all the training we have. I forget half of it that we have, because there's so
saw one
much
the other day.
To us.
It was Airbnb for agents, and I'm like, okay, I do Airbnb. I know you probably didn't see it in there, but things there's so many things. And the cool part about it is that person who's speaking about that topic is not some random person that maybe has a property in your market and does Airbnb. Right. These guys teaching these classes are the top, some of the top real estate agents in the country, or if not the world.
That's exactly right.
And I tell people all the time, I used to, previously in real estate, I would fly all over the country. You'll hear me say it, I think, in multiple podcasts. I was talking to Rick and John just on recent podcasts. I mean, I used to go fly to North Carolina. I used to go fly to, Colorado, Maryland, all the time to hear some of these people speak. Now, I legitimately is sometimes I'm in my pajamas still, drinking my coffee, listening to Kevin and Fred speak, in the eXp world. And those guys,
Williams is with us now. He's teaching his program.
I used to go pay to go see Nolly years ago. Now he's instant access. I mean, you think about
reach out
this.
To him on Workplace.
Not going to mention, but there was a coaching program by another company that Nolly ran, and you paid a lot of money to get into it. A 1 week call, exactly right. And now Nolly's on there every week, free of charge.
And he's available to us. That's great stuff. That's incredible. Well, and that's the thing. So one thing I want to mention is that, you and I have not met in person, actually.
No, we haven't.
And we connected through our powerful workplace platform that's powered by Facebook. And I saw a post that you posted in Workplace, and I'm like, hey, I would love to talk about eXp on a podcast. Absolutely, count me in. And so you and I have connected here, and that we can connect to each other from Louisiana and South Carolina through Workplace, just as if we walked into an office and knocked on each other's door.
Absolutely.
It's an incredible thing. That's powerful.
If people, I'll tell you, I tell agents all the time, and there's a lot of great companies out there who have national, international, collaboration type, tools like we do.
Yes.
If you're at a smaller brokerage and you're not succeeding at the level you want or maybe think you want to be, that piece you just said, Tammy, is what transformed my business 10 plus years ago. I had an opportunity to connect with other agents across the country. I've had, like for example, now we know each other. You did the podcast. Guess what happens
Yes.
if you know somebody moving to New Orleans or vice
I'm
versa?
calling you, or vice versa.
Right.
Yeah, you're calling me. That's exactly right.
You can't do that when you're at a brokerage or a company that only sells in one city.
In one state. That's
You don't
exactly
even know who
right.
the other people are.
Well, and
Man,
that's significant.
Huge. I talked to agents in New Orleans who are selling 20, 25 million in volume. I'm like, man, if I could get your business to a point where you have 30 more percent, it increases by 30% just based on referrals.
Yeah.
Why would you not do that?
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
But back to what we said earlier, this is like changing the thought process, changing the way people think. And that's a really uncomfortable, sometimes conversation. And I can tell you, even when these facts, like I tell people all the time, people know me very well in the business in New Orleans and somewhat around the country too. And I asked them, I said, look, you know me, right? They say, yes. You know what we've done, in the business. Yes. I don't understand what the problem is now.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I'm not sitting here making some shit up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. And
it's not too good to be true. It's happening, right?
But I'll tell you, that's the interesting part, and look, agents, if you're listening, you're not in the company, we're telling you that again, and I know you're going to hear it time and time again. And look, fellow eXp agents know you guys are struggling with that. And look, I'd love to have those type of conversations with y'all too, because, like Tami said, it's growth.
It's growth.
Together, we're helping each other. And I hope you guys maybe listen to this podcast and share with other agents too, because this is the things we're dealing with. No doubt.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that makes me think about something I was going to mention a little while ago. With regular brokerages, other brokerages, you typically have one source of income. Usually there's a couple that offer, maybe two, but with eXp, with having the 3 different sources of income available to you, when you build what is called revenue share, which we've mentioned a couple of times, and those that aren't in the business are just hearing that maybe for the first time. What that means is that you've invited other agents into the company. You're sharing this amazing company with them to help them rock out their business and make their lives better. And because you do that, the company rewards you by paying you some money back that the other agents have paid into the company. It's not coming out of their commission.
Absolutely.
And that is remarkable because for me, I sell real estate, but I'm also a single mom. So my priority is raising my daughter, and having a career that can raise her and we're comfortable. Everything's good. We got all the bills paid, all that kind of stuff. But of course, if there's a slow month in real estate, how thankful am I to get the $2,200 in revenue share or whatever I might get for the particular month is dropping into my account. And that is nothing extra that I've had to do except just share this wonderful company with people.
Right. And that's a huge part. I tell people all the time, an extra $500 coming into your household is huge. And I know sometimes in real estate, we were selling, with my team, we're selling at a high level, and 500 extra wasn't a big thing to me at that time. But I can tell you, to a lot of people, and even myself now currently with not selling as much real estate, I get more than 500 now. But the fact is, that's huge. That's a car note. And then the next thing you know, you're paying your house note. And the next thing you know, you're paying for your health insurance and the kids' school. I talked to many agents. They use this income to pay their kids' school. We know how expensive school is nowadays.
I'm one of them.
I'm one of them.
So let me tell you, my daughter's in private college in Boston.
Wow.
Again, we live in South Carolina. She could have gone to the local, Go Cox, USC, right? But no, she wants to go to Boston. I'm like, okay, you want to go to Boston? Go to Boston. That's my girl. I'm sorry. She's in Boston. Anyway. But yeah. So I love that. And if it weren't for eXp Realty, she would not be at that college right now because of my revenue share. I am able to make up the difference of, she got a ton of scholarship, but let's be serious. It's a private college in Boston. So there's still a lot of money to be made up. And thank God for eXp Realty and that I can pay for my daughter's college because of it.
That's it. And even the thing too, I know we talk about too much, but it's inherent to her. There's certain things you have to do in order for that to happen. But the fact is, at some point in life, we're not going to be here.
That's exactly
right.
We're
building this amazing empire of people and helping people. And, the money doesn't stop at us too. It's enabling generational wealth.
That's exactly right.
Stocks too. I mean, even if it didn't, and people ask me it all the time, Anthony, well, because there are certain things, you have to be a licensed agent in order to inherit. But look, one thing about it, the stocks, Those
Absolutely.
stocks are mine. And guess what? If I pass away in 20, 30, 40, 50 years or live like Dave
Yep.
Asprey another 100 years, the fact is those stocks are still mine and I can
That's
give them
exactly
whoever the
right.
heck I want. Yeah, and that's like
right.
you said, those, when you hear about people building wealth,
Yes.
and they say multiple streams of income, 7,
Mhm.
eXp knocks out 3 of them just by joining this company.
That's exactly right.
And,
And when
and
you can make money while you're sleeping, that's huge.
right.
Huge.
And we're doing it, So
Yes.
tell us about, you've obviously you have a few agents that have come on board with you. Tell us a little bit about that.
I do. So, I'm slowly but surely building my revenue share group. I've got remarkable agents under me. Right now I have 9 agents under me directly, but
Very
I have
nice.
almost 52 in my immediate revenue share group. So just out of those 9 that I've brought in, that's multiplied into 52, and I'm getting paid from a couple of different levels in that. Now, obviously, I'm wanting to get to 10 across. I'm wanting to get to 20 across, because that unlocks even more that's able to come into me. But yeah, it's a remarkable, well-designed structure of program where it just rewards us agents for the work that we're already doing.
It does, and I can tell you the beauty of it is I'm the same way. I got a bit more in my downline, but the fact is, it's expanded my business nationwide. I have
That's
people
exactly
that I've
right.
brought in New Orleans, and and I have people that I brought in, other people that are in California, New York, Miami. Look, I want everybody to listen, and you probably need some more clarity on. That's why we do things like the eXp Explains that we do on every Wednesday. And if you want, go to my Instagram account, Explain in the Cloud. And I have posted there the eXp Explains we're doing this week. We're doing them in 6 cities this week on Wednesday.
Excellent.
Just to kind of get a general idea. But that's it. There's an open opportunity. If you're at a small brokerage and you're not, talking to somebody, or if you have a friend or a family member that's in Houston, or if you have a friend or family that's in, Wisconsin, and they looking to get into real estate, guys, this is the opportunity. And I can tell you, Tami,
Absolutely.
I don't know how you are, but I have my home to city team. My team sells in multiple markets.
Right.
And so
Absolutely.
The beauty of that with my team set up with that $16,000 cap nationwide is absolutely unreal.
That is unreal. Yeah. Same thing with Jenny 80. I was telling you a little while ago. She's the lady that is the whole reason I'm in real estate. She's one of them. And she's my direct sponsor in eXp. And she still has her license down in Florida. So in the slow months up here in South Carolina, when it gets cold, she heads down to Florida to visit her son, David Nitchie, who's also a rock star agent with eXp.
Oh, that's her son? Oh, wow. I didn't know
that.
Okay. I know David.
That's her son. Exactly. I figured you did. He's great. But he, she'll go down there and sell real estate down there, see her grandchildren. And, she'll still cap at 16,000 because there's one cap nationwide, worldwide, technically now, really. But incredible that we can do that with this company.
I'm getting my license in Florida. I'm actually taking the test right now. And I wanted to, we have
good for you.
A program set up. Yeah, I know. I was like, why not? I was like,
why not? Exactly.
And that's so the cool thing was, obviously being licensed in Louisiana for so long, a company we've partnered up with, they're offering real estate courses for $99 right now. So,
oh my
Tami,
gosh,
let me know. I'll send you a link to that too if you got people looking to get in. But
absolutely, please
why
do.
not go into Florida and do those things? We don't, I want people to understand we don't have to. But
that's
the fact is, like you said, that's 16,000 cap. When I was at my last company, I had agents in my teams were in 4 different cities. Okay, those 4 different cities, I was paying a cap to every single market center. I had a separate admin, I had a separate accountant, I had a separate team leader, I had all these separations. And I can tell you guys, look at your business. Like you said, work smart, not hard. And look, I was the one, I thought I was working smart. Only because I didn't know something was smarter out there. Now,
exactly.
I can tell you, my team is in, I think, 9 different cities right now. And with that said, we have one place to go. If I go into accounting, it's the same people talking to. We go into support.
That's exactly right.
There's no multiple people. And look, the beauty of it, Tim, I don't know about you, we get paid right away now.
Yes, that's amazing.
Closing in Florida with an agent, and in 24, no more than 48 hours later, that check's in my account. Whereas before,
deposited, yes,
it had to be processed through that office, mailed to the office, processed through the office. Look, 7 to 14 day window. And guys, listen, real estate agents, if you're dealing with that, if you're thinking about expanding into multiple cities and growing your brand and your business, this is the model for you.
That's exactly right. And I don't know, I'm sure you're the same way, Anthony. I'm looking for top producers I'm looking for people that really want to rock out their real estate business. But at the same time, I'm also looking for highly motivated new agents, because I want people who are just hungry to do real estate and do it at a high level, no matter where they are in the timeline of their business yet. Because I've got an agent under me. He was a mentee of mine not long ago. He joined this past February, 2019. And like right now he has six or seven closings on the books, ready to come up, like in process, haven't closed yet. And he is just rocking it out, and 23 years old and brand new to real estate. He was with another company for 1 year and could not find his way, was not getting training, was not getting help that he was looking for, a well-known company that we both know. And I'm like, he had even put his license on, just on referral. And he was in like a logistics business trying to make the ends meet. And I said, listen, come over, let's look at this. Let's do this. And incredible. He is rocking it out and transforming his life.
That's it, and I tell people that, and back to the enthusiasm when I'm speaking to people about the company really does ooze from me. And I apologize now if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, these two are drinking the Kool-Aid. Yes, I think we just switched the color of the Kool-Aid now, they're saying. But the fact is, that's true. Yeah. And Tami, you're right. That's who we want to align with. I'm sorry, but if you don't have a big vision and you're not looking to really, and I use this word a lot, level up your life and align with other people, then it might not be the best fit for you. Because we're hard charging right now. We're doing great things. We're changing lives. If that's even on your radar at all, why would you not want to align with anybody who's thinking that way? Why would you not want to be in business or, talk to? Like my agents that I brought into this company, I talk to them every day. I got conference calls. I got a private Facebook group, where we're all talking. Even some of them, they're kind of quiet and don't say much. I'm like, guys, shut up. No, I'm sorry. Don't shut up. Keep talking louder.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hank of thinking, he said, man, look, if you don't want to hear about eXp, please delete me from Facebook right now.
That's so true.
He's like, because I'm going to scream from the rooftops. And look, it is what it is. If you don't like it, good. Whatever.
Yeah. I think we were talking about this earlier, but not on the podcast. But, recently at eXpCon in October in Las Vegas, one of the guys was saying that, if you have the cure for cancer, what would you do with that? Wouldn't you tell everybody? Right. Well, that's the same thing within the real estate business. We have the cure for cancer. Right. We have the best opportunity for agents out there. I say that every single day to somebody. I'm like, we literally have the best opportunity. And so that is something that I would say to anyone listening to this, especially if you're not in eXp already. First of all, kudos to you for listening and for hearing this. Secondly, encourage not only yourself, but others to be very open-minded to hearing what eXp can do for you and your clients and your other agents that you're going to bring in. It will be life-changing in an incredible way, and just be open to that.
Absolutely. No, I could not agree with you anymore on that one, because it's true. It's I think Gene Frederick had said, if you're talking to anybody about the company, or he asks a lot of questions, and what he says, if you truly want to learn about this company, don't go to another company and ask them for advice or what they think.
That's right.
And the comparison he uses, he goes, it's think about this. It's like you want to buy a Tesla. Mm-hmm. So, but then the first thing you do before you go buy a Tesla, before you hear anything about a Tesla, you go to Ford and ask them about a Tesla.
Yeah.
And it's great when he said that, because it's cool. It's true.
That's so true.
You got the Tesla now is the boom in the technology, the car of the future. We're the real estate company of the future. And look, guys, I could tell you, there's a lot of misinformation out there. We see it, we hear it. Yes. And this is nothing different. Like I was back at, Keller Williams almost 14, 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And Keller dealt with the same thing.
That's right.
I love that company. I did very well with it. This was an opportunity for me to do something different. But look, what is happening to us now about people misinformation and all this stuff? There was times we heard stories about Keller Williams back in the day when I was there. I was like, are you kidding me? You just called us a satanic cult.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Unfortunately, the crazy stuff we hear now. So look, if reach out to Tami, and Tami in a second, we'll get you to give all your contact info and the same. Great. If you are intrigued by this conversation, and this has been a very high energy ones, probably the most high energy you have. I loved it. I think it's all these eating better. We're in shape.
That's right. We feel great. We're strong.
We feel great.
We're healthy. There you go. That's right.
And so, reach out to either one of us. Tami, I thank you again, for doing this. Before you give your contact info, anything else you want to share or say to go?
Oh, I just want to thank you for this opportunity, Anthony. And I'm so thrilled to meet you through the phone lines today in our cloud. It's an incredible company that you and I can talk like we've been friends for years, and literally just met a little while ago by phone. But incredible company that we can connect with people all over the world, literally, and that we can connect with agents that we've seen and admired. Like I've seen you in workplace, and I've seen you, and your high level of real estate and how you're interacting with people. And so I can learn a lot from you, obviously. So I appreciate the connection today and appreciate the opportunity. It's been a fun conversation.
Definitely. This has been great. And you said the funny part is that, like you said, we've never even spoke until 5 minutes before this podcast. And guys, that's when we talk about energy in wavelengths, the law of attraction, the story of The Secret.
That's right.
If you can't tell right now that we're connected in that sense, where our energy is alike, and and we know the direction we're going, we know that path, and it's a very forward, positive thinking path. Listen to this podcast. It just tells you kind of the power of it.
That's
so
exactly
Tami, yes,
right.
I appreciate it. Look, give everybody your contact info again, guys. If you're in the South Carolina, East Coast, anywhere in that area, Tami is here for you to answer any eXp questions you have. So Tami, how can everybody get in touch with you?
I certainly am. Yeah. Hey, connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at Tami Allen Realtor. And that's TamiAllen Realtor, Tami Allen Realtor. Also on Pinterest. You can find me on LinkedIn and the same at Tami Allen Realtor. And then also just reach out to me personally, 864-266-9004. That is my phone number. My email is, of course, TamiAllenRealtor@gmail.com. And I'd love to speak with you anytime about real estate, about eXp, or if you just want to get together over some coffee because you're coming through the town, coming through the area.
That's it.
And Anthony, I wish you the absolute best. Thank you again for this opportunity and for this great conversation.
No problem. Well, thank you for being on Explain the Cloud. And again, please share with everybody. Talk to you soon, Tami.
Will do. Take care, Anthony. Thank you. Bye-bye.